Hi, my name is Nelda Spell Mitchell. I have two books here that I have written about different things that happened to my husband, Dennis Mitchell, and me. And I put them together into, they're in two books. Have I Told Y'all This, Volume 1 and Volume 2. If you will just check with Mr. Amazon, he will print you these two books and bring them right to your front door. And they make a wonderful, entertaining for you to read when you just want little short stories. And they make wonderful gifts to give to people that you need to give them something that they don't have. And that's on Amazon. Two books, Volume 1 and Volume 2, to get all the stories that wrote down. And right now, I'm going to read you one of the stories about Alan Quick wrecking the hay trailer. Now, this is something that we survived. We were just so thankful no one was hurt. This is a picture of the hay trailer, and you see that what's on the ground. It was just a little bit heavy with hay, and he turned too sharp, and the front of it fell off and the back stayed straight. It was just a big mess. And this is another shot of it from the other side, and you can see what a mess it was. The pictures are as good as my little camera was back in 1968. But we were thankful that no one was hurt, and we did survive the financial loss of it. But I'm going to read you what I wrote down about it. It was in 1968, Dennis baled lots of hay to store in the barn to feed our cows in the winter. At that time, all of the bales were what we called square bales. They were really rectangle. They were longer than they were wide. But they were called square bales, and we hauled them to the barn and stacked them in the loft of the barn or in an old tenant house that was on our field, on our land. Accidents happening were not even thought of at hay hauling time. We have always been so blessed to have teenage boys living nearby who were eager to help with farm jobs, even hauling hay that must be done when it is steaming hot summertime weather, and it requires a lot of physical strength. On this particular hot, dry summer day, Dennis had a hay field dotted with square bales and several teenage boys hauling hay bales on the cotton trailer. It had been built to haul cotton to the gin. It's important to the story to tell you about how the trailer worked. The trailer was about 8 feet wide and 30 feet long. The four vertical sides standing up, were made of a framework of metal strips up seams of heavy wire, and a metal strip was around the top of the wire that was 5 feet high. When it was used for cotton, it had these high sides all the way around it. But Dennis had unbolted and removed the wire from the back of the trailer, so he had 3 standing sides and 1 open end. 2 or 3 boys threw hay on the back of the trailer. One boy picked it up and carried it to the front of the trailer. Another boy stacked the hay in a doorstep pattern until the trailer was as full as they could get it. Then it was carried to the barn for them to unload. The way the trailer was made was a major factor to be considered when turning curves with a load. The front axle is attached to the floor of the trailer in the center of it. If the trailer is turned sharply in either directions, the wheels underneath turn and leave a front corner with no support under it until it is straightened out. If the trailer is empty, there is no problem. But a loaded trailer has the potential for a severe problem, especially if the unsupported front corner of is loaded heavier than the other one. Well, on one of these hot blazing days when it was so hot and everything was going good, our best friend Alan Quick was driving a tractor, pulling the cotton trailer, while the other boys loaded and stacked the hay. Then he turned right, and the front of the trailer turned left, and the back of the trailer did not turn. The hay was hauled back to the shed on pickups. The warped trailer was dragged to the woods, where it stayed for several years. Then he cut off the sides and the bent part and reconnected the front wheels, making a flat trailer about 12 feet long. He used it that way for several years and then sold it to another friend, Mr. Tom Abercrombie. But we were so thankful that no one was hurt, and we did survive the financial loss. Now, if you would like to hear all these stories, just subscribe to YouTube and listen to them. They're short, some are a little bit longer, but you subscribe and put any comments you want to on there. And thank you for listening to this one.